Good morning and welcome back to the channel. Steve here from Home Renovation Experts. We are still on this lovely 5x3 building. You can see where we've got to now. So basically the structure is in, which is very happy. Breathing membrane on the outside, walls fully insulated, plus expanding foam and all the gaps and cracks and bits and pieces. Rubber roof is up, but this is the big one. This is one that everyone's been waiting for. Yes, the steel is on the floor. I'll show you later how I'm going to get that in with just more. But before I do that, because the weather's actually quite nice, I'm going to jump up on the roof. There's a song there again, isn't there? I won't do it. Maybe I'm not doing that. So what I'm going to do is jump up there. I will roll back halfway to the centre. I will then use my lovely palm sander just to give it a little rub down. I'll just check to make sure there's no nibs. One guy commented, and thank you for that, like to get kitchen roll, fold it over like 4 times and rub it across the surface, because if it gets caught on anything, you know there's bits and pieces there. I haven't got any blue rag on the van, but that will find them as well. That'll pick it up and you'll feel it. So I'm going to roll that halfway back, give it a light rub, get my blower, blow off any dust and crap. Then I will glue about, I don't know, roll about 1 metre of glue, roll it onto it, and use my lovely big brush just over there. You can just see it hiding. Shy, camera shy, and use that to sweep and push the air bubbles out as I move across. Do the next meter, stick it down and roll it. I'll show you as I go. So I'll get that done and glued down. What I've also just done is run around the perimeter and just locked off any major overhangs, because obviously, because of the angle of this, at the back there was like a massive, like, obviously cut off just hanging down to where my face is, and the building's up there. So I've trimmed that off, so that's out of the way. It just takes weight off it, so as I try and roll it now, it gets a little bit easier, and I'm all for that. So that is it. I'm going to jump up on the roof now, get those bits and pieces prepared and ready. I'll show you what I'm talking about once I'm up there, and that is it. I'll see you up there in a second. That was quick, wasn't it? So there you go. You can now see she's rolled about halfway through the roof line. So I'll now grab this. Very simple, you can see. I'll do it with a bit more gusto when I put the phone down, don't worry. So give it a good old sort of sand over like that. You'll soon feel if you hit anything, any knocks and dents and bits and pieces. Once I've done that, I'll grab the old blower and give it a nice little blow off. Happy days. Just double check this battery power in it. So that'll be that. And then I'll grab the glue, bring it up, and I'll show you. I'll record myself actually doing that. Also, I completely forgot to say first thing this morning, 500 subscribers. Thank you so much everyone for watching. It's actually quite incredible, because I just thought I'd do this as a bit of a laugh really, and if it kind of become useful for people, then flipping fantastic. But yeah, I'd never ever expected to get 500 people, so you guys rock. So thank you so much for that. That was a nice sort of start to my morning, so brilliant. But anyway, enough tearing up. I think I shall get down there, get the glue up here and get ready, and then I'll show you how to do it. Right, that's me ready with everything I need. So I've got my broom up here, got my adhesive, tray, roller. So when you get these kits, they'll come with 2 adhesives. You get your water-based one, which is here, and you get like a solvent-based one. So the idea being that the water-based one is for like the majority of the area, and the oil-based one, the solvent-based one, sorry, is for the perimeter. So what you want to do is, you want to roll, give or take, I don't know, half a metre or something, yeah? Keep 100mm away from your edges, because what that will be is you'll use the solvent base to glue those edges down. Some people don't bother with that. They send it out to you, it's no bother. And they'll come in 2 formats of solvent base. It'll either come in a little tin, and you get a little roller to put it on, or if you're lucky, they'll send out the spray adhesive. It's like a carpet adhesive type stuff, that just instant grab. So I'll show you how to do that in a second as well, but I need to get the water based on first, both sides, and then I'll do the 100mm bit. So grab your water based stuff, make sure there's no crap or anything in the tray. Dunk a nice bit in there. Stick it over it, and don't be shy with it. Like I say, get it to about 100mm from the edge. If you want to be sort of on it, you can actually mark 100mm around the perimeter, just so you know, but I've done this a few times now, so I've kind of got an eye for it. And just work it into the boards. And actually, because it's quite cool this morning, I can kind of relax into it. Because when it's like stupidly hot, this stuff is already going clear and going off quite quickly. So yeah, you have to work a bit faster then. So if you can get it done in the morning before it gets a bit warmer, fantastic. But sometimes you just got to get it done when you can get it done. Work it in nice. So I always generally start about half a metre, see how it does. You'll know if it starts going off too quick because it goes clear. And then what I'll do is, if I feel like it, like I say, depending if it's like going off too fast or whatever, I might roll a bit further out, which I will do in a minute because actually it's lovely, lovely, lovely. So just get down to about 100 mil from the end, give or take. See, I think people look at roofs and they think, oh, that's quite complicated, I'll never be able to do that. A crappy old roller, tray, some adhesive and the rubber. It's like, it's not complicated in the slightest. Right, so I like that, very nice. I mean, you don't want to go too far, but I might give it one more width of roller. So it's working it into all the little joints. Now, because of the size of the roof, they sent me a 5 litre plus a 2.5, so I might need a 2.5, but I'll see how I get on. Like I say, when you're not fighting the weather and it's like threatening to rain any moment and stuff like that, it's actually quite a pleasant job, this. Because it feels like, you know, this is it, we're securing the rubber on now. That is it, that'll be 100% waterproof then. This is the other thing, don't go too far because you need to get back to your rubber. See, much easier when you've not rolled too much. Right, and now all we do is gently roll this out onto it, like this. Just enough so you can just still see a bit of glue. That's it, that's spot on. Grab your broom. Give it a nice firm push. Just to remove any air bubbles, that's all you're doing, and making that the rubber is in contact with the roof, with the glue. So simple, back over, glue, rinse, repeat, just keep doing that till you get to the end. It's nice and simple. I don't think I need to show this part because you've just watched it. Voila. One water-based glued down roof. It's taken 10 minutes to do this. That's what I mean, it's not complicated, it's not difficult. A piece of cake. So what I'll do is now, get all this stuff back down, bring up the, luckily this spray, so I haven't got to set up any little rollers and stuff like that. I love that stuff. I'll show you the tin as well. And then it'll be fold back an edge, spray the back of the rubber, spray the OSB boards, and then basically wait for it to tack off a bit, which essentially means you touch it and it just kind of sticks to your finger. It wants to lift the rubber a little bit. So just when it's tacky, then you flop it over, push it on, firm it in, you're done. Your roof is glued. Love it. Half hour this should take, no problem. And actually the weather has been quite good this morning, but if you look yonder, clouds. Bothered? No, this will be done. And then I'll be inside. Happy days. Right, so this is the stuff. Milestone rubber cover, bonding adhesive. So like I say, when you order the packet, it'll come with either the tin of this stuff basically or the spray. It has a rather nifty, I don't know if you can see, but it's like got a straight line for the spray. So when I spray this, spray it in that direction, and it'll spray like a nice wide length, because like I say, you want about 100mm overlap. So all you gotta do is give it a good shake, which I've just done off camera because I'm a pro. Fold back your roof. Back to where your glue is. And then all you want to do, give it another little shake, spray along, obviously here, and then the same again on the back of the rubber. Top tip, if I drag you around this way, what you don't want to do, so because I've got to do this lip as well, I will only spray up to about here, okay? So that when I flop that down and then bring this bit over, if I've glued that bit now, this corner won't lift. Do you see what I mean? Does that make sense? I think it does. So essentially, if I glued all the way to there, that's all tacked, I flop this back over, that's all now stuck. Now I've got to lift this edge up. Well, this part of it's now glued, it's a bit of a pain in the arse. So I only glue to about there, and that way, when this is flopped over, this one will now come up, easy peasy. No idea what a camera angle's like now, but hopefully you've got a rough idea and you can see. There you go. And that is it. Just sprays a nice wide piece. Just run the full length. I love this gear. Brilliant stuff. And you don't have to go crazy. You don't have to do a bank seal on it. You know, you just want enough that it's going to tack off nicely. So a nice in-between sort of coat. And again, keeping it short, spraying the edges. See what I mean? Saves you having to faff around getting like a little brush out and stuff. Just make sure I get that back edge as well. Just back here. Done. So I'll leave that for a couple of minutes, let it tack off. Like I say, you'll know it when it's tacky because you'll put your finger on it and it'll basically lift a bit of rubber up. So in a minute it's also soaking wet, let it cure for a bit and then flop it over and just push it in. Job's a good one. Right, I'm going to spray the front now. I can work 2 edges at once. Right, so now you can see that? It wants to lift it up. That's now tacked off. You want yourself one of these little bad boys, little mini roller. Usually it's mostly for like in between wallpaper and stuff like that, you know, for the joints. Exactly the same thing. So now we just flop this bad boy back over. Like this. And you're done. No, I'm joking, you need to roll it on. So then basically, I'll start it because probably where the camera is. Just roll it. So basically just making sure it's got good contact with itself. And getting these little air bubbles out. That's done. That is it. That is really that simple. So all you've got to do is run along the whole length. I say just pushing it out, making sure it's good contact, get rid of the air bubbles. Do that along the whole edge. It's finished, done. I'll do the same to the other end, which is now I've just rolled, sprayed that. Roll these both off, flip these two sides, spray them, adhesive it, roll it flat with this, and the ceiling is done. That is it, your roof is finished. Then it's just the trims and bits and pieces to put on once you kind of got your fascias and soffits ready to go. But for all intents and purposes, 100% waterproof. It makes me happy. You can tell, can't you? You really can. So, now you can see a bit more what I was talking about. So obviously, this edge is now all completely glued. That is done. But where I haven't gone to the edge now, I can now drop this bit over like that, you see. Whereas if I'd glued all the way to there, trying to get this up and it's pinned there is a pain. So yeah, and it is easy though when you're spraying it just to kind of go the full lift and you go, oh bugger it. And you can get around it, you can kind of lift it up and just sort of spray underneath it, but this just makes life a lot easier. So I thought that was good to actually represent and show exactly what I meant earlier. So there you go, right, time to glue it, done. Done and dusted, one glued, beautiful rubber EDPM roof, finito, waterproof, happy days. And so I was gluing this edge, I heard some ruffling above my head. I'm like, what's that? Just pigeons, I suspect. But it's kind of a sort of quieter muffling. And turns out, just in that bush there, something I've never actually seen with my own two eyes live, pigeon nest with baby pigeons in. That was cute. They're all nuzzling in and sort of getting close to mum. Quite a tearjerker, I really felt for it. And so they seemed quite happy there. So I think she was a bit shocked to kind of glance at me and go, what the bloody hell are you doing up here? But we made friends, so it's all good. Right, so now I'm gonna jump down, get all this stuff off, and then I think it's still time. Do you think it's still time? I think it's still time. Okay, back, here we go. Step one, forgetting your stealing. Get a mate. But if you don't have any mates, or they're all busy, what you're going to want to do is, in this case, like I say, so she's fixed at the back with the truss joists, truss hanger, sorry. So it's fixed there. So essentially this whole thing can now be pivoted up, okay? I've got two lengths of 2x4 being supported on these bad boys. These are from Screwfix Forged Steel. They cost, I want to say 40 odd quid, 40, 50 quid for a pair. Might even be cheaper than that actually. They're flipping brilliant, all right? So we've got 4 in a row, so 2 on each one. You want to make sure they're aligned underneath a joist. And then what we're going to do is we'll eventually just start winding these up. And essentially like a car bonnet, we're just going to pivot like this, come up like that. Now, getting the steel part up, so in a minute, this has got the weight of the roof. I've just sort of wedged it up just a little bit. You want to kind of break the middle weight of it, if you see what I mean. So basically, when you're lifting it on your Todd, it weighs a bit, but it's not terrible. This is, what's it, 120mm by 80 by 5mm thick. So I've got my horses here. So what I will basically do is position them roughly about here. Lift this end up and on. I'll come this end and do the same, like this. Right, let's move some stuff out of the way. I say it's just a pivot really, just pick it up, get it on like that. And like I say, if you don't feel comfortable doing this, this is all just how I do it, okay? So you take care of your own health and safety, I'm taking no responsibility. But this is a way to do it, just a little technique. So one end up. Right, there you go, see? So she's already up off the floor. She's at a much more comfortable height for me to get under. I can literally get under, deadlift up my shoulders so I can use my legs, get more of my body underneath it. Nice up there. Now the other reason I've got these set further back is so that I can work in this space. And obviously having your steel in first before you put these in, it's a massive one, because if you get these up first and then try and get it steel in, you're trying to work around them. It's a pain in the arse. So get that in, that's what is lying there, ready to just go straight up. So that's up against there, that's up against there. Very nice. And now what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to knock up a couple of bits of wood to basically make some supports, some midway supports. So I'm going to build one here, about that height. So again, all I'm doing is lifting it short distances, boom, lift it onto there. And then this end, I'll have a support in line with it going on the roof, because it'll be pivoted that end first. I'm now just down here, lift it up, put it on that support, then lift this end up and go like that, but I'll go and make those now, and then you can watch the rest of the video on me finally lifting it into place. Right, dokie. So you can see here, I've got one support in. What I've also done is just got a bit of OSB that's left over and just made it so it just overhangs out a bit. So once this is like, if this is a steel, it goes on, clump, and then while I'm lifting that end and manoeuvring it, it won't slip off. See what I mean? Health and safety first. So that's there. So what I'll do now is jack her up, jack it in, let me back in. Sorry, I couldn't help it. Yeah, so I'll jack her up and then get these bits out. So you basically just walk the line, jack as you go, so I've got clearance under there. Oh, lovely. Oh, I'm going to stop this for a second because there's a tea turned up, but that's more important. Everything stops for a cup of tea. Right, so we're just walking the line, just raising her up. So what we really got to do is just get it up off these temporary supports, which is these ones. So you see it's already loose, with a bit more space under this one. So that's nice. That's nice. Maybe a bit more up on this one. You want to make sure you've got plenty of space to manoeuvre and get steel in. So that is 135, 130, so a bit more. And you want to keep walking the line, you want to make sure that everything's tight as you go. Because obviously you could just jack these ones up and then those ones become loose and fall over, which would not be ideal. Right, now we've got I've got that in a way, about 130 is it? A bit more. It's worth doing like extra jacking now, what I've got it, as opposed to having a steel up in the air and you're going, oh, it's a bit tight trying to get it in there. One. So about 135 is what I'm looking for, because that gives me about 15 mil to get it in. It's looking nice. Looking nice. I think that's looking nice. So I've got that one built. I'm just going to quickly finish putting another one, so that one's up there as well. But I want to put, because what I'll do is, as a demo, basically lift up, hook up onto the top, and then slide it in. So I'm going to get these out of the way. There we go. Get that outside. So it's not in the way, so you're not tripping over it. And not actually wedged by the roof line, ironically, it's wedged by a that little corner one. There we go. There we go. Free and breezy. Right, I'm going to get one more support up that end, and then it's lifting time. Right, and just for reference as well, just so you kind of know what's what. So these are what I'm using to secure these into that joist, okay? So they're 200 mil, these things, and they've got a lovely bite on them. So they're hex heads, they're fan-bloody-tastic. So what we'll do now is, we'll get it lifted into first position, numero 1. So literally, up she goes, on she goes, done. Second one, slide it across, like that. On she goes to there. Good job. Get out of the way, we don't need that one anymore. Or that one. Okay. And then keep an eye on that end as you lift it up. Slide it across, close the space. And there you go. One still. Up in place. Easy peasy. Didn't even break a sweat. I just push that tight up against the OSB at the front. Well, I can still easily move it because once you drop the roof down, it won't want to shift around as much. Done. So now, just reverse engineer it. Just crank it down. Like that. That's it. She's on and done. I don't know what else to say. It's as simple as that. Like I say, it's all about being safe. Just make sure that you've got nice supports in the place. You've got at comfortable positions enough of these. If you wanted to, if you weren't quite as comfortable, you can put another one, put it that side, so you kind of lift it into like level areas and then go up. But I've done this a fair few times now, so I'm comfortable just like wicking it up. And obviously, when all said and done, it is a lot easier just to have a second person. Yeah, but I'm just showing you that it can be done on your Jack Jones in piece of cake. So now what I'll do is get all this out of the way. I'll then chop these bits of headers out of the way because I don't need those to keep the wall straight anymore. But before I do that, what I will do is, where I put them, so in order to secure the steel to these walls, I'm going to be using these self-drilling wingtip screws. So basically, I will wood pilot through there. There, 2 in each one, for each one. These are 100 mil, so what I'll do is I'm going to countersink through this 45 by about 40 mil, give or take. And then you just literally screw these things straight up and in, and it will bite into the steel. They're flipping brilliant. Absolutely amazing. Let me just get one out so you can have a little mooch it. Come in different sizes. There you go. So what makes it special is that. So it's got like a little wingtip on it. I mean, the first time I tried one of these, I'm thinking this thing is never flipping getting into this steel. Easy peasy. And that's it. So I'll stop the video now, get all this sorted out, get it zipped up, get these bits done. Happy days. I hope that helped. Hello. Right. I thought I'd bring you up a bit closer. Yeah, nose goes okay. Yeah, cool. Because, so here you can see 12 holes, okay? So they're going at a slight angle because obviously I can't go straight up because actually my steel was set back. So all I did was use a 5mm wood bit in first. Then I've used a 16 bit, and all I've done with that is I've just rounded off the hole and basically countersunk it a little bit. Because these bad boys are 100mm. These two bits of wood together are about, well, they 90. So I just want a bit more bite inside the steel. So by countersinking it, it'll go up a bit further. And I'll just show you how simple these are. Goggles first. Safety. Let's go for the middle one, shall we? And now you can hear it bite. Sink it in there. Done. Easy peasy. So I'll stick 3. I decided 3. Why not? 3 in each column. That's then pinned into that beautifully. I will then chop these because that will then mean that these are going to be kept in position. They won't shift around or anything. They wouldn't anyway, but again, it's fixed, secured. Chop these. Done. Stills. Piece of cake. Right, so now that the steel is in, I can now get on this 4x2 in front of it. So what this will do is, it sits on the top next to this, and what it will do is it allow me to get my roof truss joist hangers something to fix to, okay? So the way I fix these is I go in with those 200mm hex screws again, straight up, pin it through like that. I've just put on these corner bits as well, just over here, to bring it around. So I've just fitted that at both ends as well. So you can just see 2 screws, pinning that one in. Same here. This is loose. This is my next one. I'm just about to fit this bad boy. So what I've done earlier was I just quickly went round and got these in place. 2 there, 2 pre-done over here, ready to go straight up. So I'll just position it where I need it. And then once they are in, I will then use my specialist steel screws again, these bad boys, and I'll just go chuck a couple every sort of, I don't know, 10, 12 inches, something like that. So that pins that to that, that's all pinned to there and there. These walls are pinned to each other side. Then I can chop through these. Perfect, easy, easy peasy. And that just means everything is beautifully strong. Everything's knitted and tied together now. The other thing I was able to do was, because obviously this is the biggest wall, because this isn't load bearing, if I pushed on that wall before, it would bend and bow, but I couldn't put any fixings here because I needed to jack the ceiling. So I've done it before where I've done this sort of thing and I had to lift it. I put screws in, I'm lifting the ceiling, it's not moving, it's not moving. Now, you stupid tit. So I've done that now, afterwards. So that is now all secured. That wall is not going anywhere, it's all braced in, same the other side. And that's it. So this will finish off that front, and what this also allows me to do, it allows the plasterboard again, time to fix right up to the ceiling. So there's a method in my madness. There really is. That is it. I am done for the day. So where did I get to what I've done? So you've hopefully learned a lot, how to put a steel up around, how to glue a roof. I've also chopped these headery bits out, installed that. The joist, the truss brackets are now on and dusted. I had to do a tiny bit just to chop out, if you could just see, because obviously where they are, they're not quite buttoned up to it, but perfect. Didn't bother me in the slightest, just grabbed a little disc cutter and boom, chopped up that little bit that was just coming out here. Easy peasy, so that's all now done and dusted, all bolted together. What else have I done? And I've now started figuring out light positions and stuff like that. So just had a chat with the client, we're going to upgrade from 6 to 8 lights in here on dimmers. Which is perfect because now's the time to make those changes. Why having bespoke built is much better, or if you're building it yourself, you kind of know what you're wanting and start thinking. When you sort of see the space, it comes together a bit easier and can make these sort of decisions. Apart from that, it's been a bloody good day. I'm very happy with that. So I am off. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, all those kinds of jazz that just keeps this channel rolling and moving forwards. Any questions, ping and below, I will get back to you. And anything that you've seen you kind of think, oh, you could have done that better, let me know. Love a conversation and I love learning. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. I'll see you again tomorrow morning.